Hey, it's Josh here. I just want to take a quick second before we get started to express our gratitude and appreciation to anyone who's listening, whether you're consuming this by download, whether you're listening on our website or following us on Instagram or TikTok, however that is. We thank you. Doing that lets us know, hey, that there's somebody out there. And as long as we're entertaining one person, then it just makes everything worth it. So on behalf of myself and everyone here at Game Rage, thank you. All right, now enjoy the show. Welcome to the Game Rage Music Show. Okay, here we are, back again. This is Game Rage Music, episode number 12. Goddamn, we're already at fucking 12 episodes.
We have been putting in the work.
As always, I'm Josh, and I'm here with Adam.
Howdy.
Do we need to come up with another name for this? Like,
what do you mean?
Should we just keep calling it Game Rage Music? Because that was kind of always just like a placeholder name. But I mean, if we never actually made a real name, and this is just what it's become.
I was thinking about something stupid, like
yeah.
I don't. We've already kind of rolled with this, so I don't want to
fuck with it.
Not to say I don't want to fuck with it. But it's there's this thing in Tekken, the Tekken community. There's this one guy named Eris, and he. Whenever something cool happens, he's like, "Oh, that's some good ass Tekken." Like,
we should just name it the Good Ass Tekken Podcast.
No, I think we should call it the Good Ass Music Podcast. that way, like, you know, when we'll eventually say the catchphrase at some point when we play music, like when we're listening to songs or like entire albums. We're like, oh yeah, that's some good ass music.
Damn, that's a fucking great marketing gimmick, man. We should. All right, you know what? This is getting changed soon.
Yeah.
All right.
The Good Ass Music Podcast.
Welcome to episode 12 of the Good Ass Music Podcast, where we love to say that's some good ass music. Anyways, all right. So we have a few things to discuss today. What did you? Well, before we get into whatever we're going to talk about, did we have any updates on her holy Australianness, Jacqueline?
Yeah, let's see. Shit, just real quickly, just to see the number of people that have her monthly listeners. Let's see.
Let us consult the numbers.
All right, Jock. Excuse me. Okay, so there's been a slight uptick. So she did release a song that was, for all intents and purposes, to me was unknown. I didn't know about it, but yes, she released a new demo, and it does actually sound like a proper song. It's not, you know, a cappella. It's not fucking a piano ballad. It's like it's a song or whatever, and it's called "Don't Let Him Say Goodbye." And I've heard the song before because somebody had captured footage of her in the UK when she had gone over to play at this festival called Lane Way Festival. But I think sometime afterwards or sometime before, she performed like I guess like a small intimate show, and somebody went to that and they captured footage of them.
Oh, so doing the song? Yeah.
Yeah, so then, like, I heard it before, but this is the first time I've heard it as a studio recording.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's doing all right. It has 10,000. It has 10,000 streams, but again, she's been sitting in this pocket of being between 100,000 and 120,000. But I think the peak that she's been at as far as monthly listeners on Spotify has been, I think, 139,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it hasn't changed. She hasn't hit a new peak just yet. But I do remember, I don't know if this happened recently. You know what? I think it did happen recently because
because
you know how Spotify has their editorial playlist, right?
Right. Yeah.
So she got featured on this one called Front Left, and I have no idea
what that means.
What the fuck that means? Like, if that's a mood or like that's left of center, like left of like pop music. I don't fucking know. Anyways, so she's been placed on this playlist, but she's also the cover artist.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So, but also
that's cool.
I haven't seen her before on this playlist before, but it's called Rarities. And this is from another artist that, well, I don't know where she falls. Let's see. Shit. She's also with Genesis Owusu, who's also on the...
Oh, shit.
Rarities kind of says a lot, too. I mean, it's saying that you're, in my opinion...
You're a rare talent is how I would take that. I don't know.
Oh, smooth joints from around the... Come on. You call it Rarities and say, oh, it's about sausage from Vienna or something like total misdirection, dude.
Wow. Swerve. Yeah. We got swerved.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, she's also placed on this playlist called Rarities. And I'm assuming those are like bigger playlists. But yeah, the one that she's actually featured on is Front Left. Front left. I thought it was front and left, but
it's front left.
Yeah, but she's the cover artist, so that's
pretty good. Is that so? Can you see like how many people listen to that playlist or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know if the numbers change all that much because they already have, well, this one in particular has 567,000 likes on it, so that's the number of people that like the playlist. But
right.
There's not like a monthly listener. So I
well, at the very least, 500,000 people see it, and maybe some of them are consistent listeners, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's
they revisit the playlist or something. But that's as far as like the news goes with her. Just being added to new playlists, I suppose, and being featured on one of them, which is Front Left.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Oh fuck yeah. That's good to go. It's trending upwards.
Yeah, I mean, just more good shit for her, I suppose. But I think for me, like, I haven't been doing the Jocko watch where I, daily. You're
unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
I pegged you, and this my fucking understanding was that you were a fucking Jockatine fanatic. Like, an actual, maybe even like a zealot would be probably the right term.
Yeah, a cultist.
Yes, yeah. And now I'm a little sad that you're telling me that you're slacking in your fucking Jockatine, I don't know, worship, I guess?
Yeah. Yeah. It's also because of the fact that the real landmark number at this point is going to be the leap from 100,000 to 1 million monthly listeners.
Okay. All right.
That to me is like the next goal.
That's the next goal? Okay.
Yeah, sure. 250,000 is nice.
Yeah.
500,000, 750. The real goal is to hit fucking
a million.
And how long she is going to take to do that, I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to see how long that takes.
We're definitely going to stay tuned and find out.
Because when all this started popping off, I think it was roughly in August, I believe, when she started releasing her first single, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to look at the release date for that. But, let's say 1 year from now, from that point of releasing, you already know that she reaches 1 million.
Well, then
then the real party starts.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that more or less wraps up the Jocko Watch
segment,
which is yes.
All right. So now that we got some updated information on Jockatine, what else you got for us today, Adam? What's your
All right. So, Epic has announced that they will be selling
Epic Games, right?
Epic Games, the creator of Fortnite, and they actually owned BandCamp for a year and 18 months, I believe. And it appears now that they're downsizing their company. They're losing 16% of their employees.
Are they laying them off, or
I think they're doing like severance packages and all that shit.
Yeah, but you're getting basically you're laid
gone.
Off. Yeah, fuck.
So one of the things that's going to be happening is they're selling their their ownership of BandCamp, and apparently their marketing arm, I guess, which was called Super Awesome. So now Super Awesome is going to be its own marketing firm, I guess, or marketing thing.
That's cool.
And what is happening with BandCamp is that they're going to be acquired by SongTradr, and SongTradr is I don't know what this means. I imagine it's just, if Taco Bell, let's say it's called B2B, business to business.
Okay.
So I imagine like SongTradr would say, would you like to purchase one of our songs so that you can plug it in your Taco Bell commercial so that it sounds extra nice? And get your sales up on your fucking crunch wraps and your cheesy gordita crunches and shit.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, so it looks like SongTradr is in the process of acquiring BandCamp, which is a music marketplace platform where artists can make a profile and have their music uploaded to their profile page, and then I think, if I'm not mistaken, they also do merchandise, like vinyl. Like they can produce vinyl for you if you want to sell it.
Oh, that's cool.
If I'm not 100% sure on that, but in either case, you're able to sell merchandise on your profile page. And one of the nice things about BandCamp was that during the pandemic, for artists not being able to make money, there was this thing called I don't remember what it was called, but it was basically the fee that BandCamp would take from like purchases and stuff would like, it was 15%, but it got for during the pandemic, they had this thing on Fridays where like all sales that artists would make would go directly to them, and BandCamp wouldn't get 15% of it. So that was really cool. But anyways, getting back to the SongTradr acquiring them, I'm curious to find out what this means, because a lot of people were concerned that Epic would butcher the fuck out of BandCamp because it was like an artist-friendly company, and luckily nothing ended up happening. It pretty much functioned the same as it used to be. And with SongTradr, though, there's people that have a bit of skepticism with SongTradr because there was this website called TuneFind is what it was called.
Okay.
And apparently some changes were made after SongTradr acquired them, and people are like, well, what does that mean for BandCamp? Like, they're being acquired by this company, and well, like what happens then? Because even I'm curious, like, okay, if they're going to get acquired, that obviously means that there's going to be layoffs from the BandCamp camp of employees, right? And the other thing too is like the collective employees decided to make a union. So they told, and they haven't been acquired just yet, but they basically told the CEO of SongTradr that they all want to be employed. Like, they all want to be, they still want to be part of BandCamp.
Keep their jobs.
They want to keep their jobs, but they've already said that there's going to be people they're going to be offered positions, and the other half are going to be let go, but their severance packages are going to come from Epic itself.
Right. Well, and there's generally, when there's a business sellout or takeover or whatever you want to call it, acquisition, I guess.
Yeah.
The company who buys them generally guts the fucking company. Like, they will fire everybody and bring in their own people. Now, because I was trying to figure out how much it sold for each way, and it's all undisclosed amounts, so you can't. So, but in reading those articles, basically when Epic bought it a year ago or whatever, because they're a video game company, so what the fuck do they know about licensing fucking music or doing so it seemed like the word on the street was that they pretty much kind of just kept everybody around. They didn't really, because they're like, well, we don't know how to do this, so we're just buying you guys because we want to be, we want to benefit from the music realm. So, but we'll let you just do it because, like, we don't really know what the fuck we're doing. So you do it, make us some money, and then whatever. Now, obviously, whether that purchase, I had read a thing that said that BandCamp was valued at something like in the billions, so that's like a lot. It was valued at a lot of money. So they definitely probably paid several $billions for it when they purchased it. But what they're selling it for now. I do want to know what the difference, because obviously they're probably not getting back their fucking return on investment, or maybe they are. Who knows? But it would be interesting to see that. But with this new company, SongTradr, they do something similar, right? Essentially.
Well, okay, so BandCamp itself, you sell music from the artist to consumer directly.
Right. Okay.
With like the small fee going to BandCamp.
For them for helping you out and hosting it or whatever.
SongTradr itself sells like licenses of music to other businesses. So that could be like Coca-Cola, that could be whatever. They're like, hey, you guys want to use one of our artists to fucking
so then
use one of ours. So
them acquiring BandCamp basically makes it so that they can likely take independent artists and then offer them up as
like they would offer. So this is what I don't understand. It's like, okay, they got to make money, right?
Yeah.
And right away. So the immediate changes that come to mind for me are that they would increase the fees that for every transaction that happens on BandCamp, they make it like, instead of 15%, it's like 20% or 25% or something.
Yeah, I don't see. To be honest, though, I don't know if I see that, because if you take that strategy, you risk alienating your user base. Because obviously, if the artists, they're the ones that are pushing this and getting it going, making you the money by making transactions happen.
Yeah.
So if you alienate them by increasing the price, you're going to lose out. So yeah. Sure, I know that there is definitely going to be a mathematical equation that they're going to plug in and say, okay, this is how many people we can afford to lose if we up to 20%, because then we'll still basically make the same or more than if we were just charging 15%. But then obviously they have to, well, shit, are these people going to just jump in, nowadays with the access to be able to get your music out there, I mean, that's really not the only option. So you could go somewhere else. You could go just put it directly on iTunes. You could, The
other thing I was thinking is that maybe they keep things the same, but they like try to throw on you. If you register with our website, then you also have to do our licensing through us. Like that's maybe something that's written in the fine prints.
That's what I was going to get to next. Was there's definitely going to be, I foresee for sure they're going to change the terms and conditions, and it will probably be, hey, anything you upload, we have the right to shop around and potentially license. So if they like a song, or maybe not even them as the company like it, but if there's a song that they see that's trending upwards, that's a song that, it belongs to one of the artists that put it on here, oh shit, well, let's take it to, like you said, Taco Bell or fucking whoever and say, oh, hey, we think this song would go great. And they're just like the intermediary pairing it together. Now, that could bode well for the artist, because then they're going to get they will likely have to be given some sort of royalty for that to happen. But, maybe not. Maybe if you write the fine print a certain way, you can get away with, well, you upload it to our thing, not that we own it, but you gave us the right to do whatever we want with it now.
Yeah, like their primary function is to sell licenses of the music that they own. And again, I don't understand if once they acquire BandCamp that they can pretty much work with whatever artist, or that's something that's going to have to be revealed in the details of.
Yeah, what would have to be seen is, we would have to read the actual fine print as it sits now.
Yeah.
Because if you're a user of BandCamp and you make an account before this sale happens, you're subject to the terms that are current, right? So you can't like change the terms and then say, oh, well, we changed the terms so it applies retroactively. No, it's like you would have to re-agree to whatever the new terms are. So if you're on there now, and then say they do that where they say, nope, you know what, guys, anything you upload on our BandCamp, we own it. We can do whatever we want with it, and we ain't got to pay you shit. And that's in the terms and agreements. You can say no, and then they can't do anything with anything you've done up until that point. That you said no, they can't touch it. But if you fucking sign the paperwork, then everything you put on there from then on, they can do whatever they want with.
Yeah.
So I would be interested to read. Well, I mean, not that I want to actually read the fine fucking print, but it would be curious to see if that is the case of what they do, and if they go that route, because like you said, they got to make money, and they have to, and with something like that that's valued in the billions of dollars, all right, obviously you've got some fucking money to spend if you're gonna buy something in the billions of dollars range, all right, or even it's in the hundreds of millions of dollars range, then that's going to be a long-term investment for sure. So yeah, you got to start making money with it, but I'm sure that their business plan is whatever. It's a 5-year plan of, okay, in 5 years, we're going to make back whatever it is that their plan is to make back whatever it was they paid for it. I'm sure that's their hope. And that's kind of what Epic was trying to do with it. And then once they've had it for a year and they said, fuck, we ain't going to make any money with this fucking thing. So then they're like, shit, we need to cut costs, get rid of it.
Which makes you wonder, whoever was the CEO of BandCamp in the first place, like, why did they decided to sell themselves to Epic in the first place? Because if they're just going to be passed around and then also be changed in the future, it's not resembling what they once were, like, unless it's just one of those points when you're in a business that you reach your fiscal or economic peak, that it's like, well, the next thing to do to make the next realm of money or the next level of money is basically to sell out. Like,
yeah, no, that's probably exactly what fully motivated it. Was the guy, whoever was the CEO or whoever makes that the board or whoever makes that decision to decide to sell to another company, they were likely looking at it as, okay, we're all the stockholders or whatever they're called, that they chose to organize their business. But let's just call them stockholders for now. So they're the ones that own the percentages of the company. So obviously, if the company sells, they are going to benefit. So not only have they been basically likely getting paid this whole time that they've been in existence, but now, oh shit, well, if we sell for in the billions, well, I don't know how many fucking percentages they doled out, but I mean, shit, if you've got, 10 people and, you sold for fucking $28 billion was the number I saw thrown around on there. Well, shit, man, that's like $2.5 billion for every fucking person that's on the board. So there's no way you'd ever make $2.5 billion with just this company if you continued to work there as a board, as a board member or whatever. So you look at that and go, shit, man, payday. Like, it's kind of like with all these startups and shit when they do, like, the tech startups and stuff. They put in some money, they get going, and then they start making some money, and then, somebody says, oh, shit, well, I could take that, and I want one little piece that they have, so I'm going to pay this much money for it, which is probably what Epic was wanted. They wanted one little section or one little thing that they owned, and so then they bought it, and then, obviously, now they got rid of it. But this company, this new one, SongTradr, it sounds like this is definitely more up their alley than it was like for Epic's Games, let's say, to buy it.
Yeah, because it's like a easy route for them to initiate conversations with artists that are on the BandCamp platform and to say, hey, we're approaching you because you're blowing up on BandCamp. You've been featured on the editorials. We want to work with you, and we want to be the first party that reaches out to you as far as licensing goes. If you want your music plugged on a movie or television, like, we want to be your guys. Like,
yeah, well, it's kind of like I guess an analogy, like a sports analogy, would be like, okay, the SongTradr is like a Major League Baseball team owner, and they just bought an entire league of a minor league team. That's basically what they're doing. They not just a team, they bought the whole league. So now you've got this pool of recruitment that you can just pull from, and you basically just purchased all these new recruits.
Right.
So that's likely, I would imagine, what their end game is.
Not that they own the music directly,
right.
but they own the league. Like,
you just own the
ecosystem.
Yeah, you don't own the people or the things that they're making, but you own, yes, the ecosystem by which they're doing it all in. So then you are directly able to recruit them to your other thing or the opportunities of your main business venture, which is obviously licensing music to other big major corporations and stuff. So that is probably, to them, is much more worth the price that they're paying for it.
And if that's what they stick to and they let BandCamp operate on its own, I think that works out for everybody.
Yeah.
But it is concerning because it's like, how much do they need to make back on a yearly basis? Or like, are they concerned about that? Or are they willing to let this thing play out? Because if they end up working with artists in a friendly manner or in a friendly and professional manner to say, hey, like, we want to be your guys. Like, when you guys hit the big time, like, we can license your music to other shit. Like if it works like that, I don't think it'll turn out for the worse. Like this acquisition happening, but obviously not everybody's going to benefit from this. Again, the employees of BandCamp itself have been notified that there will be people that will be brought on, and there's going to be a lot of people that aren't, and the ones that aren't are going to be given a severance package from Epic after their sale. And yeah,
which, you know, I mean, that's, and I don't know, maybe obviously Epic is not a fucking music related company, but because they're a video game company, but that's just like a good guy move in general. It's like, hey, because they don't have to do that. They don't have to offer you any kind of severance when they sell the company. They could just be like, hey, go fuck yourself. Which, you know, indicates to me that, hey, Epic is at least decent. They're all right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, but also
in that sense, because yeah, sure, I'm sure it's not. What's the word I'm looking for? It's. I'm sure it's not 100%. They're just doing it out of the benevolence of their heart. I'm sure it's a PR move. I'm sure there's a lot of reasons behind why they're doing it.
Yeah, because think about this, dude. Epic, at one point, or I think it's still the case, is 40% owned by a company called Tencent, which owns TikTok. And there's a parent company of Tencent, which is like the parent company of TikTok. I forget what it's called. I think it might be called QQ, but that they were the ones that instigated that Fortnite be. Well, actually, I think it was Epic itself. Like all their games be switched from games to games as a service, meaning that games get converted to subscriptions.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I mean, it's like as cool as it might be as for Epic to pay for severances of.
Sure, I'm not saying. I meant like that they're good. They're good guys as like employers, just Epic themselves, not the whole shebang of the whole thing. But like, it's like, hey, you didn't have to do that. Like, hey, that's cool. Now, granted, sure. They've done some other things that weren't so good, but hey, you know what? That's a good guy move to be like, hey, yeah, you know what, guys? Like, we know we bought you with the intention of whatever it was we were going to do, and now, okay, obviously this didn't work out, so now we have to get rid of you, but hey, the ones of you that are going to actually be getting laid off or let go, well, here's a little parting gift to say, hey, sorry, we fucking ruined all your shit. Like, you know?
ruined all your shit, yeah.
But, and that does suck because, again, when you have, and that's the other thing that people kind of maybe need to think about too, is when you have someone come on from the outside that's got a new fresh set of eyes, right? Yes, there are the benevolent reasons of why this could be going on and why they're looking to do this. They may be putting that at the forefront, or they could be putting it looking at, hey, we want to make our mark on something. So like now we're going to take this thing and what it was, we're going to turn it into our thing. It's not going to be that thing anymore. It's going to be whatever we
like
make it to be.
Fucking Napster, like when it started off as
fucking like piracy fucking thing, and then it turned into basically the fucking or like the major DRM or fucking or is it DR? Yeah, what is that fucking acronym for the fucking copyright shit? Is it DRM?
Yeah, it's DRM.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it stands for.
Yeah, neither do I. But yeah, they basically became like the number one advocates of it, and it's like, wow, fucking really? What are the odds? You know? But shit, that's what it turned into. So that could be what happens with this. It could be like something where they're like, oh no, we are the empire, and we want to crush the rebellion of independent artists, and this is why they're doing it. Who knows? I mean, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, as far as I understand it, there will be an ongoing relationship between Epic and SongTradr. So that is also, I guess, mutually beneficial, I imagine, because any music that, let's say, like the music from BandCamp, if artists directly work with SongTradr, well, now they have like an avenue. Granted, it's only one route, but you have an artist on BandCamp that goes through SongTradr, and they're like, you know what? We should hit up Epic and see if we can get this on the Fortnite radio.
Oh, yeah. Or whatever,
so there is an ongoing relationship in that way, and you know, I think people that listen to the Fortnite radios or like the playlist, that they get turned on to new music. So it could be a beneficial thing for
you. That was, and that's kind of maybe something that Epic was trying to leverage when they bought it, was because because you pick what goes on those fucking radio stations in the game. So if you've got a bunch of things, or if you've got an artist that's blown up over there, or you want to put them in front of an audience, like obviously who plays fucking Fortnite, it's mainly the Gen Z kids. So if you want to blow up a song with them, shit, you put it in that playlist and make it fucking repeat 15 times, even if it ain't that good. These people will just get brainwashed into, because they'll associate their good times. God damn, that is some psychological fucking warfare right there. You will just associate your good times playing Fortnite with whatever the fuck this song is, and then eventually you'll end up being brainwashed into liking this fucking song. So I don't know if they actually ever did anything like that, but man, they should have. Like,
maybe that was their goal, was to get cheaper licenses for music, or like if they found something they like within the BandCamp ecosystem, they're like, let's hit these guys up because they're cheaper, they're independent artists, as opposed to talking to like Drake or Doja Cat or those other. Imagine what their license costs. It's like, 1 million for fucking with Dragon Fruit.
Yeah, well, with fucking Fortnite, I mean, they license everything. There's characters, there's new shit every fucking week that they license, and those are like major franchise. I mean, like when the Ahsoka show came out, they had Ahsoka themed fucking characters you could buy, and I'm sure the license on that was fucking insane. And same thing with anybody. If a new single comes out, Drake wants to put out his new single. Cool, he's going to license something with Fortnite to get himself in the game, so then everybody will want to fucking go buy his new fucking single or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's smart. It's great marketing. But yeah, maybe that's kind of what their intent was, oh man, maybe we can do this from like the ground up when they're nobody and get it for cheap. And then obviously, like when they blow up, oh cool, well we helped them do it, so they'll be cool with us. Or
maybe SongTradr has the exact same idea.
Could be, yeah.
And it probably would make sense because again, they are a licensing company, so it's in their best interest to make this thing as profitable as possible in the future. So I don't know what their timeline is of how quickly they want a return on investment for this purchase. But like I'm a little concerned that this could turn out for the worst. Because I mean, I don't know, man. You when it comes to acquisitions, you never think anything good.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you think what it's going to be is change, right? Because that's generally what happens during an acquisition. Is there's going to be some change. There's going to be something that happens that is probably not going to be for the best, or we as people generally hate change, right? We don't like it. And even if it's something that changes objectively for the better, we will still initially fight it because we just don't like the fact that it's changing from what we've loved and it's become. So yeah, people are going to probably hate whatever changes get made, but then I'm sure they're factoring that in as well. Eventually over time, maybe people will just get used to this, whatever we're changing. And if they're doing it for something that benefits, it's for the benefit, then eventually, yes, I think that it will be recognized as, okay, yeah, we didn't like that this fucking thing changed, but okay, we admit it. Maybe it was better this way that you're doing it now. But to you, what is a scenario that would be for the worst? Like, what do you think could happen that you would consider like, oh fuck, this is it, this is bad? With this specifically.
Well, okay, so I think from what I read, SongTradr is also a song distributor or a music distributor. Okay. So in order to get placed on Spotify or YouTube or Deezer or any of those like digital streaming platforms, you have to go to distributors so that they can place your music on all those platforms, right? Okay. So if SongTradr is capable of doing that, it's really, to me, and that's not what BandCamp does. BandCamp doesn't do that. You just are able to sell your music directly.
Direct to consumer, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
But if it ends up being something like that, where the worst case is like, oh, here are the terms of service for this platform, BandCamp, now owned by SongTradr. Like, read the five. Yeah. Is that your music will now be distributed by SongTradr itself. We will take 15% of everything you do. 15% of music sales will go to us as well. Oh, and what's another thing? Oh, yeah, all licensing deals we have.
Yeah.
What is it? I think it's called like right of refusal.
Yeah, the right of first refusal.
Right of first refusal. So if anybody wants to come to you directly about selling your music or, licensing your music for some television show, we have the right to say no. We will be the first. That's the worst case scenario. Is that they own the sales, or they get 15% of the sales that are done on Bandcamp. They get, some percentage of the royalties from distribution. They get some percentage, or rather, they get the right of first refusal for the licensing of their music.
Right.
I think is the worst case scenario.
Yeah. Okay, I could definitely agree that is probably the worst fucking thing that could happen, because then it just makes the fucking thing worthless to the independent artist, because all you're doing is just selling out for no money. Yeah, you're selling out for no money basically. So because you're just giving them all the rights to do everything, and that's it. You're not getting shit for it. So yeah, I would say that. But then again, that's the thing too, is that's a double-edged sword, because sure, if they do that, and then obviously they're gonna catch some dummies that didn't read the fine print, but then once it gets around and people figure shit out, then they're gonna alienate their whole fucking user base, and then everybody's gonna say fuck this and leave.
I think that's one good thing about the internet itself. Is that there is vigilante eyes or watchful eyes on TikTok or any social media that are willing to call out what a business is doing, like not the legal or PR jargon, like basically what Live Nation did with the $1,500 stipend.
Right.
They call something for what it is. I think that's one of the benefits of the internet, is that should this deal go through and whatever comes out of it, people will be mindful of what happens, because Bandcamp for the longest time has been an ally to independent artists, because they've been able to make money off of their music, and any merchandise that they could sell on the site directly. Like, it's been beneficial to them, obviously. And obviously they had that Bandcamp Fridays where they waived those fees for whatever sales that you would make as an artist. So like if that image starts to go sideways because of SongTradr itself, then I think maybe that will also benefit what Bandcamp becomes in the future as well. Is if people are really adamant, like, hey, you can't change this, you motherfuckers. Like, I know you own it, but like, we will all collectively walk away from this, and we will just start our own fucking Bandcamp. And so that's the other option.
Right? Yeah, because I mean, the idea is not something. It's not something that you can't. No one else can make another kind of this thing. Anybody could make this fucking exact same thing and just call it something different, and you're good to go. So yeah, if you fuck this up, SongTradr, and you decide to get greedy, then you're just gonna have wasted all the billions of dollars or whatever it is that you paid for this thing, because now it's gonna just be worthless, and then it's gonna. So I would imagine that at least for the first few years, it will likely maintain the same standards that it's had in the past, and that will be because they need to keep people around, because that's how they're going to make money. And I know, obviously, if it was valued, if the actual platform itself was valued at around 28 billion or something at one point, well, shit, that means that they're making, generally, it's not a fucking exact thing, but generally the rule of thumb is like, it's 3 years of your fucking gross profits is what you would value the business at. So that means like around 3 years you're doing gross profit $28 billion. That's, like almost like $8.5 billion a year you're doing in gross profit. That's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
So that means clearly they're making money. So, and whatever they're paying for it, I'm sure they factored that into the price, where if they kept doing the business as is, that they would make their money back in 3 years. So realistically, you'll probably see them continue to do the same exact thing for at least that amount of time. They'll make their money back, and then once they do that, and it's now become net zero, where this thing is free to us now, we've made all the money back that we paid for it. So now whatever we do now
is gravy.
Yeah, it's just it's well, I don't want to say it's free money, because it's not, but it's all profit. So if we fuck this up by trying to get too greedy, well, whatever, we already got our money back plus more. So cool, let's get greedy. Let's go. Like, sure, that's when you might see the change happen, because I mean, again, if you've got billions of dollars to throw around to acquire other companies, you're a big time player, and you probably have tons of money.
Yeah, well, like,
because I don't think they're leveraging all of their cash positions to buy this thing. There's no fucking way.
No, I think this is just like supplemental to them because the licensing game has got to be pretty good for them. Like whoever's working with them, I mean, they might be making a pretty penny. I don't know what SongTradr is valued at, but again, if they have like a larger artist, whether that's like fucking Drake or I don't think they would, but let's use Drake as an example. They sold they sold a license to a 30-second clip so that it could be played at the NBA finals or something like that.
Sure, yeah.
What if it's worth a fucking $1 million? And what if you do that with like 30, maybe 100 different artists? You're making $1 million off of that, and you're doing that like 52. I mean, I don't know how many times you do that in 52 weeks, but shit's got to be pretty good. So like,
well, I mean, it's saying that Jesus Christ, it's saying that SongTradr, their yearly revenue is $45 million.
$45 million.
So they didn't pay. There's no way they paid billions for this shit. Like, there's no fucking way. So Epic likely took a bath on it, and they are losing a bunch of money. But it's the reason you dump shit is so because you're hemorrhaging. This thing is hemorrhaging money now. Well, once you stop the bleeding, well, you're not hemorrhaging the money anymore. So now you're still getting that net savings. Okay, cool. We sold it. Yeah, sure. We paid whatever billions, and we only sold it for a couple $100 million. Well, fuck, we ate our dicks on this thing, so cool, but at least we're not blowing money like it's fucking no big deal anymore, so cool, we stopped that problem, because that's, likely what was happening is it could have just been hemorrhaging money, and they're like, fuck, man, like, we got to make cuts, or maybe it wasn't hemorrhaging money, but maybe it was, not producing to the level that they thought it was going to. Probably still profitable, but, shit, this is getting slower.
It's negligible.
Yeah, right. So it's like, well, if we get rid of it, we can get some money back and then save the expense of running whatever it is. I mean, I would hope that they were at least, I mean, they only had it for a year, so I don't even know.
Year and 18 months.
Right, so I don't even know if they had it for the amount of time to get it to where it was actually making them money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's kind of like, I don't know if it's an abrupt decision, but you couldn't. It's like, could you look at something objectively within a year and 18 months to say that this is beneficial to us? Because I feel like you need like 5 years before you have an idea of something's doing all right, right? Or even like 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, BandCamp's estimated annual revenue is around $30 million. So, is what the estimates are. So that, I don't know where the fuck that billions of, fans have paid artists and their labels. That's the money that has passed through. Over $1 billion has passed through them from artists to label, like for the, that kind of deal. But they take a chunk. They take a take of that. So that's where that's their percentage, is that $30 million. So yeah, a lot of money passes through them. But
I see.
They're only keeping a small percentage.
So the marketplace has made
$1 billion off of
but
them.
They only get.
They're getting their fifth, whatever that 15% is, 30, whatever, it's $30 million or whatever. I guess is what their yearly.
I got you.
Avenue. So that's where, when you're looking at. And see, there are some this is BandCamp's competitors, and some of their competitors make, in that realm of $5 to $20 million a year. They're at 30, so they're at the higher end of that. Obviously, they're higher than that spectrum. So, they were probably doing it better than anybody else, or at least more profitable than anyone else, which I guess is why they decided to do it, to buy it. And so from what these numbers are showing, it looks like, I would say Epic definitely probably sold it for less than what they fucking paid for it. And again, if their yearly revenue, we don't even know. I can't find anything about what their actual their yearly costs are. It's just like what their revenue is. So, I mean, if it's you're making $30 million, but it's costing you $35 million to run the business. Well, fuck, you're losing $5 million a year. So,
right,
that could have been what happened, and maybe obviously. It was 2022 when they bought it, so obviously things were kind of coming back from COVID, and, that's cool. Hey, everybody's, starting to listen to shit again, or this is starting to pop up again, but maybe it wasn't accelerating at the rate that they thought it would, and they're like, all right, guys, we gotta fucking unload this. Because, again, obviously, the video game industry is their main fucking gig, right? That's Epic's main focus.
Yeah.
So you're likely going to cut shit from that as a last resort, because that's your bread and butter. So if you have an opportunity to cut something that's not in that wheelhouse, you're cutting that shit off first.
Which in their case was the marketing leg they had, which is called Super Awesome and Epic itself.
Right. So
not Epic itself, BandCamp, sorry.
Right. So they cut those two things off and they said, all right, we're getting rid of these and let's just focus on fucking video games now. And, you know, it's given an opportunity for someone else to come in and do something with it, obviously, and to purchase it. So, you know, that's good. And obviously the video game industry is, you know, I mean, I'm sure it's not doing terribly. I mean, I think during COVID, obviously people were staying at home more and playing fucking more games and probably spending more money on Fortnite than they were in previous years. And then now that that's waned and people have had to come back to work and go back to school and do all that bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the money that's getting dropped on it's kind of fell off. So they were likely probably positioning themselves to have another source of income to supplement that. And again, it probably didn't work out in that, you know, 12 to 18 month period. Yeah, it's been about 8 because it was like March of 2022 when they bought it. So it's been like, 18 months. So in that 18 months, they probably said, all right, guys, this is not going the way we thought it was. We should just unload it. And sure, now we'll see what they do with it with fucking SongTradr. But I mean, it definitely sounds like, because again, I'm not an expert on that platform, but like it does sound like it's a useful tool for independent artists to get their shit out there. It was kind of that way. People were definitely benefiting from it. Again, if $1 billion is passing through from labels to artists for this kind of stuff, that means that the artists are making a lot of that. They're making, well, they only take 15%, so you're making 85% of that. So 85% of that went to the artists. And that's definitely not a number to scoff at. You got independent artists paid over $1 billion a year. Mm-hmm. Like, that's pretty fucking good.
And you weren't greedy about it, like
right? Because you were only taking 15%. Which, hey, you know what, man?
Dude,
that's
even
reasonable.
20% probably would be reasonable.
Yeah, that would have been considered reasonable. Yeah, to it's like, well, shit, you're providing all the infrastructure, you're providing all the platform, the algorithms, you're providing all this bullshit. And you're connecting us where we need to get connected, and they're the middleman. So it's like they're your agent, kind of, I guess, right?
Yeah.
It's like their agent, your agent and distributor all in one. So, you know, it was providing a service to the people who didn't want to deal with the other types of people that you got to deal with when you're doing this stuff. So.
And it could be interesting, like I don't know how much more I have to add to this, but there are record labels that, you know, independent record labels that run their whole catalog on BandCamp itself, so they'll have their own record label page.
Oh, okay.
So like you could have, you know, 6 different artists and they're all the releases are put on this record label's page. Imagine if SongTradr, after this acquisition, they start hitting up independent labels. They're like, hey, let's start figuring out how we can make you guys some real fucking money. Like,
because that would be, if they're like because, you know, I mean, if their goals are benevolent ones and they want to just help the music industry and obviously get paid while you're doing it. That's obviously the aim, is like, we want to get paid while we're doing it, but shit, if we can help out somebody else at the same time, that's fucking even better. You know, it's like maybe they're gonna branch out into putting podcasts on there, like, oh, hey, cool, you put your podcast on here, we'll host your fucking podcast too, or whatever, and people pay the monthly fee, and then whatever. I mean, shit, there's so many things they could do with it to kind of increase their revenue factor.
That would be interesting if SongTradr decided to have like a podcast division. Yeah. And then like within the podcast division, they have like the music of, you know, the catalogs from BandCamp itself, like featured on the program.
Or they give it, like, say, for example, if we, like, say we wanted to put our show on there and we wanted to use we could pick from any song that's on there, on that BandCamp to use. We could use it license free in our fucking thing, and like, oh, cool, like it's all in-house type shit. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't put it on any other platform, but if somebody wanted to go listen to us on the BandCamp platform, then cool. Oh, we could put it, and you could hear. We could do all kinds of crazy creative shit and collaborate. That would kind of like, you know, feed collaborations to happen between, you know, podcasters and, you know, musical artists and stuff, which would be kind of cool. But, you know, I don't know what their intentions are. I mean, that'd be something that would be nice. I mean, I've seen, like, as a side kind of tangent, like fucking OnlyFans. They're trying to get away from we're just a porn fucking site, right?
All right. So what's going on with that?
Well, they're trying to get because I was looking for something for like the podcast of like, oh, where else, like how we could put it on other things. And I was just kind of thinking like, well, wouldn't it be interesting if you could make it like you made an OnlyFans and then you put it so like, oh, hey, you pay $1, whatever you want to set your price at, obviously, because that's how OnlyFans works. You want to put it on there and you could say like, hey, instead of having a Patreon where Patreon
is a monthly subscription.
It's a monthly subscription. They ding you. Well, the creator, they ding them with fees. Like that's the only reason I've set one up for Patreon, but like I haven't really done anything with it because it's like, yeah, if we get a couple of people like, oh, we're gonna make like no money because they ding you with all these fees by the end of it, and it's a pretty high percentage, I think, is what at the end, and it's not immediately upfront like it is with OnlyFans. I think OnlyFans is just a straight 20%. That's what they take, and it's like, hey, across the board, okay. Everything that you bring in through them that gets paid on their platform, they take 20% of it. That's it, and you're done. Whereas with like Patreon, it's like you're paying like 10%, and then there's a transaction fee, and then there's a fucking all these other different little fees that they like sprinkle in for every little thing, and it's like, well, fuck, like, and then you gotta subscribe monthly, so it's like. So anyway, so I was like thinking to myself, I was like, man, because OnlyFans is actually trying to get away from, like I said, that adult content. Same like Pornhub's kind of trying to do the same thing. They're trying to get away. They're trying to be like YouTube.
I've said it a million times to people. I'm like, Pornhub gaming, dude. This needs to happen.
Right. I think that's fucking genius. That if they wanted to, they could fucking make that happen. But. Yeah, instead of Twitch streaming, you're Pornhub streaming on your fucking with your gaming or whatever. And same thing applies for like podcasts and stuff. So if we could put, instead of using Patreon, we put it on an OnlyFans, and we could charge $2 a month or whatever we want, or whatever the fuck shit, $2 a week, and people can listen to whatever we put up that week. Any episodes we put up, oh cool, you're gonna get this many minimally, and maybe some weeks you'll get more, or whatever you want to set your, I don't know, your fucking content levels at, basically. And so I think that like if I was gonna reach out to OnlyFans and just be like, hey, yeah, we're gonna put our thing on here, and like potentially, oh, you guys could benefit from this because you're trying to get out of the fucking like adult content space. Well, you don't have anybody that wants to associate themselves with you because that's all you're known for. So if you've got podcasts that want to get advertisers, well, not a lot of advertisers want to be associated with OnlyFans. So it's like, oh man, if we could like finagle our way into the ground floor of it when they're just trying to get into it and somehow make some weird deal. I don't know.
That's the problem. I don't have any shame.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I don't give a fuck. Like, shit, I would love to promote OnlyFans. Fucking, who cares? Same thing with Pornhub. I don't give a fuck. Like, yeah, it's something that gets more eyes on our stuff. And that's the same thing with independent artists. They could leverage OnlyFans and say, hey, you want to buy my songs? You can buy them on fucking OnlyFans. And I don't know what Apple charges. I don't know how, what they take. I'm sure it's probably more than, or it's at least similar to 20%. And fucking OnlyFans has like billions of users that probably one of the highest utilized websites on or platforms on the planet at this point. And shit, that's an audience that, well, everybody fucking that is watching the porn or whatever, or the adult creator content, well, everybody likes music. So
everybody likes music.
Yeah, like you could capture 100% of that audience potentially. Like that's what the potential is. So
I wonder if they would decide to change their name at that point. Well,
Pornhub would probably have to if they were going to do that. But OnlyFans, I mean, that applies. That's a broad term. You don't. And if you can change because that's what they're trying to do is change the narrative that OnlyFans is only adult content. The term OnlyFans, it's just like, hey, this is for your biggest fans. That's what it's like. You're subscribing. Your biggest fans are subscribing to you, so anybody could do it. I mean, there's other celebrities because they've tried to do this before with like Kim Kardashian and like I don't know who else. The famous celebrities have OnlyFans, but it wasn't porn content. It was like, oh, you were paying to see like them talk about fucking their makeup or some bullshit or what, whatever the case is. That, in my opinion, didn't work is because they were letting instead of just paying the celebrities to do it for free and have everyone have access to it, the celebrities were charging for it, and they were charging ridiculous amounts of money. So, and I mean, I'm sure they still do it, but like, I don't think it really went anywhere because you didn't open it up to the broad audience. But if it's like for us, oh shit, you could come listen to our shit for free if OnlyFans wants to, promote it. Cool, we'll let everybody. I don't mind people. We do it, put it out there for free now. Who cares? Like, that would be a deal if you're an independent artist and you just want more people to listen to your shit. Well, hey, OnlyFans, like, I'll make this thing on here. Here's my song. If they think it's potentially something that could be popular, hey, license it to all your fucking OnlyFans people. They want to make little videos and shit with it. Oh, fuck yeah, here you go. Like, let them fuck to this thing or jerk, whatever, whatever it is that they're doing. Like, I mean, and granted, I'm sure not every artist wants to be associated with that, but that's how OnlyFans can get itself out of it, is by allowing and opening it up for some sort of collaboration is going to have to happen. And then maybe they can get, same thing with Pornhub. They'll have to have some sort of collaboration because they have the Pornhub Shorts now, where it's like it's YouTube Shorts basically.
Oh, they got Reels and like TikToks now?
Yeah, basically that's what it is. And that's smart. Now it's all porn focused, but I mean, I've seen people on Pornhub that put up like, fucking, they'll do like little comedy videos and stuff. And there's not a lot of them. It's very rare because most people go to Pornhub for porn. But Pornhub was like, hey man, if we're trying to get into the YouTube type business now, you're gonna need something other than porn. So, what if you're like a musical artist and you want to get your shit on there, if you got a new music video, drop it on fucking Pornhub. And
that would be kind of fucking baller, dude.
Right?
If you were an independent artist and you got your viral,
you got it from Pornhub.
You got it from fucking Pornhub, dude. Because everybody would be like, they would laugh internally.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, that's hilarious. And they were like, I'm gonna fucking check this dude out. Like,
and not to say that we need to make another record label, because God knows we don't need any more of those. But like, you could have Pornhub could just be Pornhub Records now, and they could just fucking make and distribute fucking everybody's bullshit if they wanted to. I mean, goddamn, there's so many possibilities of where that could go. And if that's the space they're looking to get into, then I think, artists could definitely fucking benefit from it. But, I don't know if we veered too far off the original topic to go back. But
because like I said, we were kind of reaching the end of the other one.
Yeah.
So just talking about alternatives for artists, like in the future, maybe OnlyFans is going to be that new place where they could really concentrate on their super fans that really want to throw money at them for whatever merchandise or like exclusive items or signed things, whatever
the merchandising opportunities are endless, because that's basically all it is just a merchandising platform. Whereas like with Patreon or something like that, there you got to set up the tiers, and then it's this. You can't really sell individual items like that on there.
It's very across the board. I feel like Patreon really comes down to, sure, there's tiers that exist, right?
Yeah.
But it's like really stupid things that everybody else does. Like, maybe you'll get the episode one. If you make a podcast, or if you're an artist, like maybe you get the release 1 week earlier, or maybe you get a listening party or some shit like that. Everybody does the same thing, unless somebody breaks
the mold,
or comes up with something different. It's more or less the same. So, and paying a monthly subscription for that, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it, but
I don't think it is either.
I think a one-time purchase for one thing, or maybe a collective, like a bundle thing, from OnlyFans would.
Yeah, right. And again, if people can sell their used underwear and used socks on OnlyFans, an artist should be able to sell their fucking songs on there, no fucking problem.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would like to see that fucking happen. So I think we should, we should test it on some fucking like.
Well, how about this for the two things that we just discussed, like alternatives for artists? Because let's say this thing falls out with the with BandCamp.
Right.
We'll find out like what happens with the acquisition and what it means for like artists and stuff, and then we'll also you let us know what's happening with the OnlyFans.
I'll keep an eye on that.
The new ventures of OnlyFans.
Well, hopefully I'll have some firsthand experience, because I think I am going to put all our shit on there just to see what happens. Like, because you never know, and I don't know. You put it up. I'll put it up for free or something.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
And just see fucking what happens. Maybe we'll get some free subscribers. Can you do that on OnlyFans? I got to look into that.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I've never actually used OnlyFans.
Because if we're not putting it up for free, then they don't make any money. So why would they let us do that? I guess, right? Like, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Maybe there's a weird way you could do it, but I'll have to see. And then we'll start advertising ourselves as being exclusively on OnlyFans. See, and that's where they can make some fucking money. Is if you wanted to change the narrative, let people be like, oh yeah, hey, we'll let you put your shit for free, we'll even advertise it, but like, hey, you can only put it on our shit. Cool, yeah, I'll sign that deal. Exclusive on OnlyFans, and OnlyFans is gonna promote it. Yeah, why not? Fuck yeah, let's do it. But yeah, anyways,
all right, change topics,
changing gears.
So this is a topic that I had in mind for the last episode, but we kind of got in a roll for some of the things that we were talking about in the previous episode. But I figured, what the fuck, we'll bring it back and see where we go with it. All right, so the topic is if it's necessary to be in a major metropolitan area to be successful as an artist, or can you basically work from anywhere because of social media and whatever supplements that to make it as an artist? Or so what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think initially that the answer to that is probably no. Like the short answer, right, is probably no. You don't need to be in a major metropolitan area. And it would also, I guess, then depend on what your level of measurement of success is. If you want to be a world fucking renowned star, then you're going to have to fucking go to LA. You're going to have to go to fucking New York. You're going to have to go to fucking, I don't know what the other ones throughout the world, what the entertainment capitals of the rest of the world are. But at least here in the United States, you're going to have to go to fucking Hollywood. You're going to have to go to fucking New York. You're going to have to go to one of those meccas of entertainment or industry. To be enrolled in the system, if you want the system behind you to promote you, you're probably going to have to do it. Now, I do think it is fully possible to evade the system and not be enrolled in it, and you don't have to be there, because with the way, with the way that global, reach is nowadays with the internet, everyone has access to everyone. So, and I'm not trying to like fucking, self-promote here, but like I just as an example, like for our thing with like the anime podcast, okay, we kind of got some people in Ireland that run an anime convention to want to be on the podcast. Like, okay, we got that wouldn't have been possible if the internet didn't exist, right? That would have never fucking happened. There would have been no mechanism by which that could have existed. And I didn't need to go to Dublin to fucking make that happen. So just like I wouldn't need, if the inverse of that, if I was in Dublin, I wouldn't need to go to LA or Hollywood to make my song fucking get popular. And it's the Hasselhoff thing. If you don't need to be popular in a certain country, if you blow up in just one area, then you can focus on that, and you don't actually have to fucking be there or be from there. You don't even got to go there maybe to be successful. You could just do it all from the internet. So again, I think it definitely depends on what level of success we're talking about. If we're talking about successful as in, hey, you are making money doing this, you're getting paid, then absolutely you do not need to go to LA. You don't need to go to Hollywood. You don't need to go to fucking New York. If you want to go to the next level and get that fucking like fuck you money, then maybe you might have to. If you want to get in the multi-millions of dollars. But I do think it's possible to do that on your own without being enrolled in the system. And I say that also being someone who doesn't want to be enrolled in the system. We're doing this whole thing independently with no backing from any fucking major parties and seeing what happens, essentially. So I don't want to, we live in Southern California, but like, I don't want to go to Hollywood and deal with those fucking people. I don't want to go to New York and deal with those fucking individuals that are in the industry, because it's just a pain in the ass. I just don't like people. All right. That's what it comes down to. But if I was an artist and I had something that I was passionate about, like with, if I was making music, right? If I was fucking Jockatine, for example, I do not think that, for a second, because again, she's in fucking Australia, a whole fucking other literal side of the world, but yet somehow here in America, people are talking about her, right? Everybody throughout the world knows her. So you can put, and I don't know if it tells you like the listens and stuff of like where they're coming from, obviously. I'm sure.
For what?
For like on Spotify, like when it tells you the things.
Yeah, okay. I think on the desktop, it does tell you what your top 5
like countries are.
Yeah. The countries that listen, yeah.
Yeah, so Spotify, that's just one specific thing in the whole grand scheme of all the platforms that exist that you could put shit on. So it's about maximizing your platforms that you're utilizing, because the more platforms you're on, obviously the more likelihood that you're going to be seen. And an example of that is like I was fucking around, and again, I'm not trying to fucking, but this is self-experience, so it's easy to talk about because it's like I know this firsthand. This is firsthand information. I'm not making shit up. We were not on Deezer. We were not on Google Podcasts for some reason. We weren't on there was like another one. I forget what it's fucking called. Maybe it was TuneIn. for some reason all our shit wasn't on TuneIn. Like, I don't know what happened when I made everything, but it didn't. Something fucked up. So I had to go back and like redo it all. And sure as shit, I redid it all, and we got another boost in listeners just off of putting it on those platforms. And listen, I don't even know what the fuck Deezer is. I'd never even heard of it until I saw it on the thing of distribution that we could put the podcast to.
Yeah.
But obviously it's something people use. They like it. So cool. Why wouldn't we be on it? It doesn't cost anything for me to put it on there. So if I'm a struggling artist or a new artist out there that I just started making music and I want to get it in front of an audience, man, there's so many fucking platforms you can put shit on. And if you are just putting on one or two, yeah, you're going to limit the audience that you're potentially going to reach. And it's really up to the artist. That's the kind of, I think, that's the long answer is no. The short answer is no. You don't need to. I don't think you need to be in those areas. But the long answer is it's up to you, the artist. If you don't want to be in the system, all good. I agree with that. But the system does the work. So if you don't want to be in the system, you got to do the work, and you got to fucking sit there and you got to fucking put it out on every fucking possible platform that you can find, and, self-promote it. Get your search engine optimization up, get a website going for yourself. Fuck it. There's thousands of things that you could do to self-promote to get your shit out there. I mean, I don't think it's impossible for someone to become let's say like a world-renowned pop star if you just want to, like, if you're in fucking Papua New Guinea, like, if you fucking had the voice of a fucking generation, you will be found, you will be heard, because you can put it on YouTube. Like I said, there's tons of places you could go. So
yeah, I think outside of what one can do with their own hands,
right,
people themselves can also create those moments by recording it, like being a witness to something.
Yeah,
that it could also manifest in that way. Obviously,
True,
that's more chance than anything. But
right.
As far as like here in the United States, can somebody from fucking I guess the most exemplary case of that would be this artist named Hemlock Springs, who's this like quirky, weird pop girl. Her song "Girlfriend" came out, and everybody I think people on TikTok just loved it, or whatever.
Yeah,
And that was imagine that it's not with the help of anybody from like record labels,
right? Yeah,
or shit like that. She just did it on her own. She did her own music video. Like if you see her music video, you can tell, dude, that this girl is not only knows who her identity is as an artist, but she knows how to present herself in a music video. And I think more than anything, anybody that can do that, like, you have the potential to reach that on your own.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need anybody. And I also think that when you come to, like, if you were to come to Los Angeles, that people think that things will just happen for you, I think it's like one of the worst things that you can do.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe that's, I don't know if it's an embellishment, but it's already saturated here with artists. Imagine how difficult it is to play. Like, why not make yourself known in your own fucking town, or like your own, like, to be, imagine how cool that is when you're a smaller artist that blows up, and you can say you're from fucking Akron, Ohio.
Yeah.
And you blew up from there. Like, and that's where you claim you're on your in your fucking bio. That's where you say you're from. You're not based in Los Angeles. Because I see a lot of artists that come from other parts of the world that say, oh, I was raised or I was born in some part of the world, but I'm based in Los Angeles.
Right, yeah.
As if that kind of gives merit to their music. And I don't think I like that, because I want to know, for any artist, that I really do want to believe that anything can happen anywhere. And when everybody feels like they have to come here to make things happen, to network, or or to feel like they need to be in a community to succeed, I mean, that's hard for me to say. That's because I'm not in it like the way an artist is. But from the outside, like, I don't think you have to do those things. Like, I don't think you have to be here to pay fucking $6,000 in rent to and then go out to like fucking I don't know, like the Echo or some smaller venue, and just like struggling to fucking get your name out there, hoping some record label is going to come your way. Like, is being here a good thing? I think it is, but it comes with a steep price, man. It's obviously the fucking rent, and also people are assholes. Like,
right, yes,
everybody will tell you like you're special and all this shit, and that, you know, when you ask them for help, like when it comes down to it, like, do people actually help you? I don't fucking know. But why would you pay an obscene amount for rent and for people to be assholes when you can do the work at home, like in the Mideast, or the Midwest, or wherever the fucking part of the world you're from.
And this is, I'm gonna go on a rant here, but this is not to like talk shit about people who are like failed actors or whatever. But like, man, just being out here in Southern California in general, and obviously being out in like spending a lot of time out in the LA area, I can't tell you how many fucking people I've met that are from other places that came out here because I want to be an actor, I want to be this, or I want to be that, and they're working, obviously they're like a waiter or some shit, right? Or they're working some whatever parking lot attendant job.
I do respect it.
I get that, but, and I'm not talking shit about them per se, but a lot of those people that are in that zone are people that came here because they thought just coming here would make it happen for them.
Yeah.
And they didn't put in like the work to make it happen. So it's like they just came here and expected, oh yeah, this is definitely, I'm just gonna come here and magic's gonna happen and I'm gonna fucking like, you know, I'm gonna get this fucking job. I'm gonna become an actor. I'm gonna be like Tom Cruise.
Like, just being attractive is enough to be here. Like, well, it's not.
Everyone's, and that's the thing. Everyone here is a 10. So if you come here not a 10, well, guess what? Nobody's gonna fucking look at you. Nobody gives a shit about you.
And you could have a wealth of talent,
sure,
and everybody would overlook you.
And I don't think that somebody like I said, I don't think they need to come here. Nobody needs to come here to do it. You can do it from anywhere, and it's like if you have the work ethic or the drive to do it, then you'll make it happen. Okay, like this is the example I was going to use. Okay, let's use Beyonce. Let's use a musical example. Beyonce, her net worth is roughly around $450 million. Okay, as of 2022 ish. So she's worth that in her whole 20-something years of being in the music industry. She has developed a net worth of $450 million. Obviously not just from music, but from a wealth of other ventures and whatnot, okay? But her being a musical pop star essentially is what got her to do that. Just imagine the billions of dollars that she's made for record labels, for the record or the music industry in general, the billions of dollars that she's made that have her $450 million that she's been able to carve out for herself, even though it's been through other means, not just music, is a pittance compared to what the actual music industry has likely made from her, or what she has made for them, we should say. And so it's all about scale. If you are getting paid and you're only making like 10% at the end of the day of what your revenue is bringing in, and let's say it's $1 million, okay, congratulations, you're a fucking millionaire. You're in the fucking 1% or whatever the fuck it is. But if you are out doing it yourself and you're keeping 100% of the profits, and that's $250,000 or $350,000, well, that's still more than enough to be completely successful, to have multiple other ventures, to start other businesses that you would want to start, just kind of like Beyonce did. You're just doing it on a smaller scale. And so it's not to say that you have to, sure, you're not going to get to the $450 million unless you're out here in LA, right? That's LA, New York. That's when you're going to get to that point. But when you really objectively look at it, what are the fucking odds it's going to happen anyways, that you're going to get into positions to do that? Sure, you can make a lot of shit happen, but not likely that you're going to be making $450 million a year, or have a net worth of $450 million, right? So it's almost better to just be on your own and do it yourself,
because you reap all the benefits.
You're getting 100% of everything, or whatever. You're taking all the risk and you're getting all the reward, as opposed to shit, you're taking all the risk and you're only getting 10 or 20 or whatever percent, 25% maybe of what the reward would be. Sure, that reward's still more than what you would get if you were making 100%, but at least this way, you're making all the money. Everything you're earning is coming to you. You're getting exactly what you've made and what you deserve, as opposed to like,
shit. Imagine living in fucking Oregon and not having an income tax.
Oh yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, like
if you were an artist based in Oregon, and you had the convenience of touring California because there's so many places to play here, and you can play pretty much Northern California and Southern California, and that's all you do for the rest of your career. But there's people that show up for you, man, and you have no income tax and fucking, or no, is it
state income? Yeah, you don't pay state income tax. You still got to pay federal tax everywhere, but you just don't have to pay state income tax.
Fuck,
so
is that right?
Yeah. Well, there's a few states that don't have state income tax. I don't know specifically if Oregon's one of them, but if you don't, I think Arizona might also be one, maybe even Nevada.
I think I'm wrong on Oregon. I think they have. Right. They don't have a sales tax. That's
that could be. Well, either way, if there's no sales tax, well then you can.
It's still beneficial.
Yeah, it's still beneficial because people will spend more money for you instead of paying that extra 8% in fucking sales tax. Maybe they'll buy another shirt.
So even the convenience of having residence in another place other than California, man.
Yeah.
Imagine how much more you're taking home if you live in a state that doesn't have.
Oh, and I mean, California sucks when it comes to taxes, obviously. So,
I will say though, I do love living here because
the weather's great.
I do like the convenience. Like, man, we don't have to fucking worry about shit. Earthquake every now and then, but we don't get snowed in.
Nope.
I mean, it's hot as fuck, but for the most part, for the majority of the year, dude, it's pretty great.
Nice.
And you can go everything is 40. You're 45 minutes from fucking everything, dude. Man. Mountains, desert. Beaches, valleys.
Minutes, You want to go to the woods? 45 minutes away. Shit. Sometimes it's even closer. Depends where you live, I guess. But there are other reasons to come live here, and it's fucking $6,000 a month rent to live in fucking Hollywood or whatever because everybody wants to fucking live there, so they can charge whatever the fuck they want. So
it also must suck dick sharing a room with somebody, dude.
I've met people that they literally it's people that they're trying to break into Hollywood or be actors, and it's these are people that actually do medium sized budget movies. They're in stuff, right? They fucking literally it's like 6 dudes to a fucking 3-bedroom apartment. Guys are sleeping on the cat. Everybody's paying $800 a month.
That I don't think anybody should be living like that.
Yeah,
that's obviously something that California is dealing with, is that fucking housing's. Rent is expensive.
Yeah, there's not enough housing, and it's what there is fucking expensive as shit.
Yeah,
and there are parts of California you could go live in where the rent's not that high. I mean, it's you could not have to live there in that Hollywood proper, right? You could live in the outskirts or whatever. And come in when you got gigs or to go for auditions or do whatever, or whatever the case is, you could make it work living out here. But
I mean,
I think people it's also the allure too, because if you've got somebody from the Midwest and they're I don't want to be insulting, but they're a little bit of a country bumpkin type person, right?
Yeah.
And the fucking charm and the allure of fucking Hollywood to them is so foreign from what their life has been for every minute up until the point of when they have become, maybe a singer or whatever it is that they've done. That is fucking attractive in and of itself, to just go be part of, you're from this fucking nowhere town, fucking USA, and oh man, I'm gonna go to the big city, and become a star. Yeah, sure. You'll become a crackhead on the side of the street, but
the harsh reality sets in that all of LA is a lot grimier than you think. It's not nearly as rosy as you think it is.
Man, they do a really good job. The California PR team is fucking real good.
Luckily for me, I don't give a shit because we all live here, so we're we're under no delusion of what.
Well, we were born here and raised here. Essentially, we've lived all 30 plus years of our lives here, and we see it for what it is. I don't look at I guess you could say maybe New York would be something that we could look at as oh man, it's the big, the skyscrapers and this. Nah, man, I know it's just as shitty as it is here.
Rats and fucking streets that smell like piss.
Literally, young turtles mutated in cartoon shows. That's where I know that's probably accurate. That's
dude, I swear to God, at this point, Master Splinter has to be real.
Yeah, of course.
He's got to be in the streets of fucking New York.
He's creeping around, fucking just karate chopping everybody.
Making sure that Oroku Saki is not selling fentanyl. Selling fentanyl to people on the streets and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know, man. I just think that, like I said, I'm not an artist myself, and who the fuck are we to criticize artists for doing what they do? Because I mean, if you guys are passionate about what you do, nothing should stop you. Like even us trying to be realistic about coming here to make shit happen, whether that's to network or be in a community of like a genre of music that maybe is not well received in fucking Arcata, California, or maybe fucking Cincinnati, Ohio, or some like maybe you are beyond your fucking your environment. Like you're just too far ahead in like the place you have to make it happen. Maybe it has to be here, but
here's the best advice that I'll fucking give somebody is obviously don't listen to me. I'm a fucking idiot. But
I would like to second that motion.
Right. Also, don't listen to anybody else because they're also probably an idiot. Listen to yourself. If you want to come out here because you want to experience this and you want to do it and try to do networking and stuff and you think this is the best choice, then yeah, do it. No one's gonna say shit. Don't fucking let someone else make your decisions for you.
Also, if we are in fact like reaching the end of this particular topic, I would like to add we would if you are listening and you're a new artist, and we will try not to be gatekeepy, but we will try to be an ally for you.
Absolutely. Listen, not that we have fucking connections or shit, but listen, we're pretty creative motherfuckers. So there's all kinds of opportunities to do something. And if anybody, is a new artist out there that wants to fucking, if you want some help, listen, I all the shit that we have on our website and everything, I made all that. All right. I don't know how to do Photoshop, but guess what? I did it. Yeah. So if you want fucking somebody to make your album cover, I'll make you a real shitty one. Yeah. But sure, I'll help you out. Or if you want to fucking come on our podcast and talk about your new song, whatever you want. Like,
I guess that was like the main thing I was getting at.
Trying to get people to come on.
Well, no, I was gonna say, that too. Yeah. But for ourselves personally, if we get anywhere with like this specific like music podcast, then I mean, we're not going to be a fucking hurdle to like.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not going to be like, this guy doesn't have enough Instagram followers to come on our show. No, fuck that. If you have if you have zero, if you have negative Instagram followers somehow, you can still come on. I don't give a fuck.
The only thing is, we both collectively have to decide, or maybe one of us, that the music has to be good. Like that's the only.
Oh, so then you're saying like if they suck, then like no dice. You don't want to promote a shitty artist. Is that what you're saying? That's gatekeeping.
That's true.
Hypocrite. Goddamn. Well, string them up. Tar and feather them. Let's get them up.
Tar and feather them. What is this? Fucking the what is it? The 18th century. Yep. The 18th century.
It's 1723, and you're about to get tarred and feathered. You son of a bitch for fucking being a hypocrite.
Well, I mean, shit. We'll at least try to be helpful in some manner so that when you come here, you don't think everybody's an asshole.
Well, yeah, at least you could say you met like a couple nice people.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I don't know. We are kind of assholes sometimes, but we're not going to be gatekeeping assholes. There you go. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You got anything else to add to this specific specific topic?
I think we fucking covered it.
All right. I do have something else. Mm-hmm. I have two additional things. So what do we have?
We're at an hour and 21, so...
All right, I think these will be relatively quick.
All right, let's go.
I want you to listen to one artist that I found like a couple weeks ago, this is just kind of a quick topic, because this one, I don't know why it drove me up the wall, so we might have to stop at some point, because I need you to hear her music.
All right.
Because I don't think it's as good as people make it out to be, and this person might be delusional. But
All right. This sounds fun.
Yeah. So who I am speaking of specifically is I found out that Duff McKagan, the bass player of fucking Guns N' Roses, well, he got married to somebody that was a model and shit. So they had a daughter.
Yeah.
And this woman is making music, and her name is Grace McKagan. And I'm like, okay, I came across them on Instagram, and I was like, what are the odds that somebody has the name McKagan? They have to be the fucking daughter of bass player from Guns N' Roses. So it turned out it was in fact the case, right? So then I listened to the music. I'm like, this is dog shit. Like,
didn't like it, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, well, this is how far nepotism gets you when you're lucky enough to have somebody that was in a famous band, and like you already have your in with the music industry because of your father. And I don't think her music is as great as she probably believes it to or her bandmates. Like, but
well, let me ask you. Okay, so is she in a band or is she like a solo artist?
no, she's in a band.
Okay, so
wait, I think okay, so she is the recording artist Grace McKagan. I think like that's her name.
Okay,
and then she has a record like a live band or whatever.
Okay, so what do other people say about it? Like, what does everybody on the internet say?
Man, so there are artists that enjoy her. I don't know if they enjoy it. Maybe they're just sucking up so they can fucking play a show with her, but whatever. The girl Sedona that I'm like, I love dearly. Like, I love her music. I love what she does on social media. She likes her shit, and I'm like, there's nothing to like.
You think that there's no fucking way?
You want to listen?
All right, let's listen to it. All right. So let's just we'll pause this. So you can also at home listen to the recording artist. What's her name?
Grace McKagan.
Grace McKagan. What's the name of the song?
Well, it's not so much. It's from a live. I don't know what the song is.
Jesus Christ! Do they not have any actual like songs?
No, they do have songs, but I just want you to hear her live.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Well,
so
wait a minute. Okay. So what if she's just shitty live? Have you listened to an actual studio recording of hers?
It kind of sounds like a poverty version of Hole, dude. Like, that's what it really is.
Yeah, all right. Let's listen to it.
But worse.
Poverty, but like even worse.
It's a great value fucking Hole.
Oh man. All right. I'm interested to hear it. So all right, here we go. So you could pause it and listen to the video. I'm sure you could YouTube it or something. All right, we'll pause it now. Okay. Before we say what I thought of this, which this will tell you exactly what I fucking probably think. When I Googled Grace McKagan, okay, it comes up with singer, and then right next to it, Duff McKagan's daughter. Jesus Christ. It's nepotism. This was fucking... that thing you just played for me was fucking terrible.
It hurt my ears.
I'm not a fucking artist.
We're both tone deaf, I think.
Yeah, I think we are. I think we are fucking tone deaf.
But we know when something sucks.
That fucking sounded terrible. God, I hate to say it, but even the dickheads that clearly were there, like on the drums and on the guitar, they were terrible too. It was just all bad. The words were bad. The performances were bad. I just did not like that at all.
But look at her social media. She has she's obviously at these fashion shows like Dolce & Gabbana and some.
Oh man,
yeah.
And you know what? Good for her, right? She's branching out. You know, she's fucking going to things. And
I don't know about the music.
No,
thing,
that's definitely not. Heart of Hearts right now. That's the name of that's a song. Okay, so when you made that comment about Great Value Hole.
Whatever it is, I don't know, or maybe it's Metric. There's a band called Metric that kind of sounds like what they're doing, but
maybe. But a little bit, I guess. But Hole, yes, it's like she is like, and she even has that fucking look of like almost like a third world Courtney Love, right?
Derelict Courtney Love.
Courtney Love already was derelict to begin with.
Derelict squared.
Double derelict.
Yeah.
I mean. God damn, that I would be interested to see what Katie thinks of that from a musical perspective. Maybe we should have her listen to this too,
dude, because it's fucking awful. Like I'm not trying to be mean.
Man.
This is if you want an objective opinion of somebody that is making music and is obviously the daughter of fucking Duff McKagan, I don't see it, man. I really.
It's like if Tom Brady's fucking kid wants to be a quarterback and he fucking sucks, but yet he makes it to the NFL, right? Mm-hmm. That's basically what this is the equivalent of. Mm-hmm. I fucking hate that because it's just because of the connections that they're making this a thing. And I hate that artists that are actually talented, well, I don't want to say talented, but they're good objectively, I guess you could say, and they have talent behind them, they're just getting lost in the shuffle because of shit like that.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate it. Makes me hate it even more because it's the only reason you're there is because of your name.
Yeah.
And listen, I mean, I'll make even another reference. It's like fucking George Bush fucking when he becomes president, like your dad was president, bitch. That doesn't mean you get to fucking be president too, you fuck. You suck at that. You fucking shitty. What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Like nepotism.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's fucking bullshit.
All right, now to wash the bad aftertaste of that song. Do you want to hear something something cool with
a
lead female and some
fuck yeah, let's
some heavy guitar riffs.
Oh hell yeah, that sounds great.
All right, so we're gonna listen to this. This is gonna be the end of the episode. I want to know what your thoughts are for this artist, because they're relatively new, and I just want to do a little bit of a little pat on the back. I didn't know that they were featured on BandCamp as one of like the editorials albums of the week.
Oh, nice.
So like, I went off strictly off of me finding this artist as I do for like new releases and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm like, this sounds good. So my intuition told me that this was good, and then it was validated by the BandCamp. One of the editors was like, "Oh, this is good shit too." So I want to know what you think about this to wash the aftertaste of this shit. So we're gonna listen to "Pressure Me" from this band called Filth is Eternal.
Ooh, nice. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, that's good. That's getting downloaded or added to my fucking playlist for sure.
Yeah, so this was a group I found like 2 weeks ago from Seattle, Washington. So there's been one other band that I really enjoyed called Black Ends from also Seattle, and off on a tangent, but Black Ends actually played with a band from here locally in Southern California called French Mouth. They played on a bill together, and I'm like, oh man. In my mind, I'm like, okay, that's, if either of those bands go, well, even if they don't go anywhere, like that's just a cool bill to witness, like with your own eyes, because I think these are two acts that I certainly like appreciate that are. Well, one of them has been featured on a KEXP, which is like a local radio station in Seattle that everybody recognizes as like being on point for like music and shit. So, you know, good for Black Ends or whatever. But for French Mouth and Black Ends to be on the same bill, I wish I could have been there. But now it's cool to find out that there's a group called Filth is Eternal, and the fucking name is badass.
That is a sweet name, yeah.
But, you know, they got this really, you know, heavy guitar driven. I think it's, I want to say it's like punk or hardcore. I don't know if it's so much punk. Maybe it's more hardcore music. In either case, it's just really bitchin' music. And hopefully you are able to check this out. And the song was Pressure Me from Filth is Eternal. And I just wanted to mention that to you real quickly because I'm trying to wash out the
the bad taste of
Grace McKagan, dude.
Man, I have to say though, the only negative drawback from this is going to be that we will likely be cut off from all of Duff McKagan's resources, and Chris Jericho.
We'll never be invited to. Well, not that I was ever going to go to a Guns N' Roses. I know they had Power Trip was this weekend. That festival with all the old heads from metal and shit.
We're banned.
Can't go.
Nope, can't go. Chris Jericho will never come on the wrestling podcast. We'll probably be no longer able to go to any AEW event. I mean, that's fine.
Wait, what does Chris Jericho have to do with Guns N' Roses?
He's like friends with Duff McKagan. He's on his podcast all the time. He does like the joke of the week. Like,
oh, that's right, the dad jokes.
Yeah, he gives Duff McKagan's dad joke of the week on the Chris Jericho podcast. So
okay,
hey, but maybe Chris Jericho will think it's funny that we made fun of Duff McKagan and his daughter's bad music, and maybe he'll invite us on to talk about it.
But man, I would really love to have Duff McKagan be like, bro, please, like, objectively speaking, tell me, does your daughter make good music or not? Just please tell me.
I just need to know. We won't tell anybody. We'll just keep it between ourselves.
Between me and you. Please tell me.
Just let us know.
We'll never speak of it again.
Yeah. Well, if you want to send us an email, we'll delete the fuck out of it the second we read it. It'll be like Mission Impossible. The shit fucking just destroys. All right.
Yeah, please. I mean,
man.
Please just don't lie to me, dude. You can't. People are convinced that this is good, dude. I'm fucking dying here, man. Like, they made it to Jam the Band, which is like a cool thing, and if they're saying that's cool, then it's that thing is not cool. Like, fuck.
Now I will say this though, all right. If I, as someone who has a daughter, all right, if I was Duff McKagan, I would be sending a Predator missile to here right now. Like, that's what would be happening. All right, I would be destroying us currently if we were talking shit about my daughter and her shitty singing. But that's just
Has your wife introduced music to not introduced music, but rather has she been getting taught lessons?
Yeah,
to be vocal?
she is in the, because my wife teaches the local children's choir, so she's in it with her this year. This was her first year, so she's gone for the last, I think, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks she's been going, and she sings all around the house now, and you know, so I mean, she's 5, so I don't know if it's definitely not the best, but it's
we don't know, because then we still need to wait for her to develop.
Well, true, but you know what? I'm sure if I had her sing that Grace McKagan song, it'd probably be better.
Your daughter is a better voice than Grace McKagan. She's only 5 years old.
True that. All right, well, that's a great way to end the episode.
I can live with that as an ending.
That's awesome. Fuck yeah. All right, tune in. Follow us on all the social medias.
Also, teaser for next episode, if you guys are listening, we will be listening to Munya and Twin Temple's new album this coming week.
Fuck yeah.
So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. All right, well, anyways, if you listen this far, follow us at Game Rage Magazine on, Instagram and Twitter, or TikTok, and then on the X/Twitter, it's at Game Rage Mag. And if you're Grace McKagan and you want to fucking defend yourself and say how we're assholes, we'd love to have you on. So hit us up, DM us. All right, see ya.
That was the Game Rage Music Show. Thanks for listening.